Welcome back. Last video we started our crossbody bag. Now stop here if you haven't seen the first part. It was a lot of fun and it was the main construction. So if you have seen it, we're on to part 2. Now this is going to be the details of the bag. We're going to flip it inside out. We're going to check out all the cool parts. We're going to build the strap. We're going to add some cool hardware and we're going to finish off the bag using some cool techniques. So I'm excited. Hopefully you're as excited as I am. Let's get into it. This will be the back strap. First, I'm going to make sure the middle sections that have similar leather patterns are even and that they don't have any major defects. Then I'm going to be taking the black skiving tool, which is going to thin out the leather to make it so that I can fold and make the leather really neat using my hardware connection. Now that the leather has been thinned out, I'm going to put a quick crease in here to mark the leather where I want to eventually put my hardware. Now I'm going to use a little bit of paper cement. Now the trick with paper cement, it has to be really thinly applied and it has to dry completely in order for it to be effective. With my trusty hole punch, I'm going to go ahead and put the stitch markers for the center of the strap. While I'm waiting for the glue on the end of the straps to dry, I'm going to use these holes that I made for the center, and I'm going to make these fancy X-shaped stitches. One side will have the X crossover, and the back will be straight across stitches. Hammer time! Now that our stitches are done, we're going to take some sandpaper and even out both sides before we prep to do edge coating. Now that the glue has finally dried, we can push together the pieces in order to create the edge. Now we're gonna take this and measure out against the hardware to see where the next spot we need to glue. Remember, a very thin layer, and let that dry. We'll move on to the next step. I already completed one side, as you can see, but now that the glue has dried, I can push together the piece, install the hardware in the right spot, and I hole punched already. So now it's going to be just stitching off the material to finish the strap. Now the strap is completely together and ready for treatment. So it's all been sanded evenly and then burnished. Burnished means that it's been used fire in order to even everything out. And now I'm going to apply edge coat. This edge coat is from Tandy Leather, and it's a slightly shiny black. Now it's time to take the bag that we made last week and turn it inside out. The top of the bag has already been sanded and burnished, so it's ready to receive edge coat. But first, we're going to prepare the side straps for the strap. Now this is going to require skiving to thin that material, Then we're going to need to glue it, and then I'll get you with the next step. Let's get to it. Now that the glue is dried, we can fold it over, put the hardware in place, hole punch, apply a stitch, and that'll be it for our straps. Now that the strap is complete, we can edge coat the strap and then edge coat the rest of the bag. It's going to take about 3 coats to really get a good quality edge, but then we should be done. Well, that's it. From these really awesome pictures, you can tell this bag came out amazing. I'm super proud of how everything came out, and I love the finished product. Now this bag, you know, it's meant to be a crossbody or a bucket bag, and it's meant to be worn across your body. Now I made it longer because for tall girls, it's really hard to find bags that actually go all the way down to your hip. Unless they're meant for guys, and that's just no fun. So I made a much longer strap, and I managed to edge coat it. Now edge coating is a really cool technique that I love to use, and this product came from Tandy. Not that I'm sponsored by Tandy, but it's a good place for beginner resources. I really loved getting to do all the stitches. I had wanted to do some snaps, but unfortunately my punch tool for my snaps wasn't working. So all in all, I love how this bag turned out. I think that the unfinished center was really cool, and it ends up being this very fun, cool, contemporary kind of piece, and I'm really excited to get wearing this. Next time around, we'll be making some gloves. Now the upload schedule is going to change. As much as I'd love to try to promise a new video every single week, right now with my work, I work every other weekend, and for my projects I need time to source my materials, which means waiting for leather to get shipped, and COVID is not friendly to shipping. I need to pattern out my projects before you guys ever get to even see a bit of it on camera. I need to test my patterns sometimes. I'm pretty bad about not testing it. I know, Marcel. I'll go ahead and slap myself. And then I need to just make it. and I really love to dedicate a lot of time to really making quality items. So I need more time for that and then editing. I'm not just gonna slap something together with movie editor and call it good. I have a process. I record my voiceovers, I record my face, I record my work, I put all of it together and make what I think is a really fun product. So bear with me. It's gonna be once every other week, so twice a month, almost like payday, 1st and 15th, but it'll be the first Friday and the third Friday of every month. And I know that's going to be a little confusing, but bear with me. Well, hopefully once my schedule at work gets a little bit easier and I start having more weekends off, I can start working on more projects and maybe get back to once a week. But I really love doing this now. Now, if there's something you want from me, whether it's a bag, a glove, or heck, what about even a keychain? If you want something, you let me know in the comments below, and I'll figure out some way to get in touch with you about getting that done. So next week, gloves, as I said. So I'll see you next time. Bye.